Hi ladies, welcome to September. If you've never been with me before, these are the demo videos where I break down every workout, every exercise. I'm going to show you any modifications I can think of, how to change it to fit any fitness level, when you can add weight, when you don't need weight. Any information I can give you about the exercises themselves will be in these videos, okay? So if you know what you're doing and you think you can skip through, feel free. If you don't know or these are all new to you, please watch the videos because I'm going over form in detail to make sure that you're doing it properly and that no one gets hurt, okay? So they can be kind of long, but I think they are really important. And if you know what you're doing, you can skip through, okay? So we're on Monday the 5th. We have a lower body workout. We have two parts. So the way you can tell that we have two parts is because there's a star and an underline twice. So we have 4, 5, or 6 rounds, and then we have donkey kicks. So those are two separate parts and they get done separately. So how I'm going to do these videos is I'm going to basically say what the workout is. I'm going to demonstrate quickly each exercise. That way, if you know what it is, you're like, oh, I've seen that one before, I know what that is, and you're good to go. And then if you don't know what it is, I'm going to then explain every single exercise in extreme detail. So you would have to stick around and watch that if you're not sure what it is or you've never done it before. So we have weighted curtsy lunges. Per just means per leg, per arm, per side. 12 fire hydrants per leg, 12 goblet squats, 12 lateral lunges per leg, and then donkey kicks, and that is to our timer. So if you have not already, you need to download the timer. It's in one of my posts. I also have a how to use the timer app video that is linked to the top of the page, so please watch that if you've never used the timer before. Okay, 12 weighted curtsy lunges. And then switch sides. Fire hydrants. Goblet squat. And lateral lunge. And donkey kicks. Okay, so with any of the exercises that say weighted, that always means there's an option to not add weight. And if it doesn't say weighted, but there is an option to add it, I will try to remember to say that you can add it if you want, okay? So that is also another way that you can change the difficulty to fit your fitness level. So, I'm just gonna go over what the curtsy lunge looks like before I show you how to add the weight. So for the curtsy lunge, whatever side you decide to start on, you're gonna take one leg, you're gonna go diagonal back. So from the side, diagonal back, and then you're just gonna bend your knees and sink down. Then pop back up. 2, 3, okay? So with this exercise, what you're doing is by having that leg back and diagonal, when you sink down, all of the pressure is gonna go to your front leg in the front of the thigh, but also mainly on the side butt hip area is where you're gonna feel this one, okay? So you're kind of isolating that front leg when you move this leg behind, so all the weight is gonna kind of be on this leg, okay? And then you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Diagonal back, sink down, up. Diagonal back, sink down, up. So when you sink down, you wanna make sure that your back and your shoulders are upright. So you don't wanna fold down. You wanna try to stay as tall as you can and just let your legs do the work, okay? To add weight, you can either hold a dumbbell in each hand, or you can hold one dumbbell the long way. It's up to you, okay? Fire hydrants. So you're gonna be on your hands and knees. You wanna make sure that your back is not overly arched up or overly arched down. You want to always have your spine be nice and neutral whenever you're in this position or in a high plank position, so you'll hear me say it a million times in these videos. And what we're going to do is we're just going to lift our leg out by our side, okay? So we're bent knees. We're going to keep the leg bent. We're just going to lift it up on the side of us, back down, up, down, up, down. This is what it looks like from the front. Up, down, okay? So again, this one is working that side, hip, butt type of area, okay? And again, watch your back. Make sure you're not arching one way or the other. Always try to keep your spine neutral. And that would be a good one to add a resistant band if you have those, you like to use them. Goblet squats. So this is your weighted squat. Goblet is just the style that you're holding the weight. The weight is in front of your body. You kind of hold it resting in your palms. Close your fingers over the top. I literally do rest the weight on my chest just like this. Some people prefer to hold it out in front of them. I think that's just more work, so I just rest it right on my chest. And you're just gonna squat down and up. So it's just a weighted squat, okay? Now I'm just gonna break down the squat. If you have never done a squat before, you wanna have your legs or feet shoulder width or slightly wider apart. Your toes should be pointing forward or slightly outward, but not much. And when you sink down, your butt is going to the floor. Your shoulders are staying up, your hips, your toes, your knees, everything is still gonna be going forward, okay? So you're gonna sink down, stand up, sink down, stand up. When you sink down, the weight should be on your heels and you should not be coming up on your toes. All the weight needs to go back with your butt and go down to the ground. And with your knees, they're either gonna go totally forward or they're gonna go slightly outward. But your knees should never knock in when you're doing a squat, okay? If you have bad knees, as in they are kind of finicky and they bother you sometimes, but you can do squats and bending, you might want to turn your feet slightly out because it takes some of the pressure off of the knee, okay? It's not as much pressure if your feet were totally straight. If you are new to squatting and you don't know where you are in space, so you squat down and you're always like, oh, am I there? I don't know, did I go far enough, I'm not too far, and you just like don't know where you're going, you're gonna wanna do tap and go. So you're gonna take a chair, or if you have a couch, whatever is there, you're gonna stand in front of it and you're going to squat until, I gotta back up, you're gonna squat until your butt touches it and then stand up. So it's gonna act as a guide. So you know, if you're only here and it didn't touch it, you gotta go farther, okay? So that's how you're gonna get used to creating kind of some muscle memory for yourself of where you should be when you're squatting. If you are somebody who does have really bad knees, cannot bend, or can't put a lot of pressure on them, you're gonna do a full sit. So you're gonna keep the same posture, but when you get down, you're just gonna sit fully in the chair. Don't relax into the chair. Keep your posture, stand up. Full sit, stand up. Full sit, stand up, okay? So, what I recommend if you do have a lot of issues with your legs, knees, bending, that kind of stuff, I do have a pinned video in my resources video that is just me going over all different types of exercises that you can do where you don't need to bend or it's very slight bending. So I think it's called leg or bending knee, bad knee substitution, something like that. So what I would do is I would watch that video first and I would come up with a couple of them that are comfortable to you or that you like, and then have them on hand to substitute into our leg days, because some leg days we have a lot of jumping, some it's just a lot of bending or a lot of pressure on your legs, and you're gonna have a problem every single time you come to leg day. So instead of it being a problem, go watch that video, come up with some things that you can do, and then that way when the leg day comes up, you're already ready to substitute and have exercises that you can do instead of looking at it and saying, I can't do any of these things, okay? And if there's any modifications or substitutions that I have not covered, or like even within any of the other videos here, you can always message me and just say, hey, I'm on this workout, I can't do this, I didn't really notice a substitution that works for me, what can I do, okay? And I'll always help you out. Lastly, we have lateral lunges. So you're gonna start with your feet together and you're going to do a big step out, and then you're also gonna sink your body down diagonal toward that step out and then return. So it's basically a lateral squat, but your body is going down and diagonal toward this leg. So all of the weight shifts to this leg and there's no weight on this foot, okay? So you're transferring your weight, your butt is sinking diagonal back into this leg, back up, okay? Sink down, back up, sink down, up. This is what it looks like from the side. Sink down, so see how my butt is down and over here? Up, sink down, up. When you do this, your feet should still be pointing forward, everything should still be forward. So your body is moving to the side, but it's not actually going to the side, okay? Now, this is one you can add weight if you want to. So I like to do it by having weight in the opposite arm of the leg that is moving. So if this leg is moving, the weight is in this hand, I'm gonna step out, and as I sink, I just kind of shift and I put the weight to that foot. Doesn't have to touch the foot, but usually around the ankle or so. And that's kind of what I do. I just kind of reach with that weight over to that side. You can also hold it the long way. Just be careful not to bend forward too much if you're gonna hold it in front of you. And of course, you can do it with no weight at all. Part 2 is donkey kicks. This is where we're gonna need, our timer. So if you have not downloaded the timer, you need to download it. And I do have a video on how to use the timer, which is posted in the resource video post that is pinned to the top of the page, that also has the warm-ups and the cool downs and the bad knee subs. There is a video that says like how to timer app or something like that, okay? So we're all doing 25 to 35 seconds, that's your choice. It could be 28, it could be 32, doesn't matter. We're all resting for 30 seconds and we're doing 6 rounds per Tabata because we have to do each leg. So that means we're gonna do each leg 3 times. It's up to you whether you want to do right, left, right, left, right, left, or if you wanna do all 3 rounds on one leg, then switch all 3 rounds on the other leg. It doesn't matter, but you're doing 3 rounds per leg. So for donkey kicks, you're gonna be in the same position you were for our fire hydrants, except instead of lifting out to the side, you're basically kicking up through the ceiling. So you're gonna keep your knee bent, you're gonna have your heel flexed flat, and you're gonna kick up, back down, kick up, back down. So when you do this and you hit the top, your butt should be squeezed. You should be able to feel that in your butt, that you are fully contracted, and it should burn shortly after, okay? So remember, that heel is flexed and it's almost like you're kicking up through the ceiling. Now your back on this one, try not to overarch and do this type of thing when your leg goes up. Think about keeping your spine neutral and only moving your leg. Try not to let your back sink down and make that arch, okay? Now, when you do this, you're gonna feel it in your butt. You are gonna feel it in your lower back. That is totally normal, especially because most people have tight lower backs. So if you are someone that has a tight lower back or a weak lower back, when you kick that leg up, you're gonna feel almost like a stretching or pulling in your lower back. That is normal. If it is painful, then I would stop, but most of us are gonna feel something. It's gonna feel like a really big stretch pretty much throughout your lower back. So that's totally normal. All right, so that's your first day. Please watch those resource videos if you need them. And then if you have any questions, you can always message me. And every video is gonna be like this. So I try to point out when to do certain things, or again, if it's leg day, you need to watch the video, whatever it is, I try to point it out. I do my best because I try to make it where there's less questions during the program and more information in the videos, okay? So some of them are long, I apologize, but I think it's easier for both of us if you have more information to start than needing to ask a million questions, okay? So sorry, some of them are long.